Good morning, Manandal. Last class we can discuss about forebrain. See, I already said forebrain having a three parts. One is the olfactory bulb for smelling, and the second part is called as cerebrum, and it is the largest part in the brain. And the third one is the diencephalon. Now, basically, forebrain is also called as a prosencephalon. Pro indicates front. See, I already said now this part is called as a cerebrum. Now you have to think this one is called as a corpus callosum, a rough diagram. Corpus callosum, right cerebral hemisphere and left cerebral hemisphere. Now the right cerebral hemisphere and the left cerebral hemisphere, they having a ventricles. Ventricles means fluid filled cavity, that is called as a ventricles. These two lateral ventricles is called as a paraceole. This paraceole is filled with what fluid? Cerebrospinal fluid. This ventricles is lined by columnar ciliated epithelial cells. Here, the third part in forebrain is called as a diencephalon. This is the diencephalon. The diencephalon having a three parts. One is the epithalamus, thalamus and hypothalamus. In diencephalon, they having a third ventricle. This third ventricle is called as a diociole. See, now this one is the diociole. Above the diociole, it is like a roof, that is called as a epithalamus. Lateral side, they having a thalamus. Base of the diociole, that is called as a hypothalamus. Basically, in the brain, non-nervous part is epithalamus. Keep in mind. Now, this epithalamus somewhat protruded upwards and touches the pia mater. This part is called as a anterior choroid plexus. Anterior choroid plexus, it can produce a fluid. That fluid is called as a cerebrospinal fluid. That's why cerebrospinal fluid is secreted from where? That is from the choroid plexus. Okay. Now here, this paraceole is connected to the diociole by a canal. This canal is called, they having two. This canal is called as a foramen of Monro or foramen of Monro. Foramen of Monro, foramen of Monro, whatever it is. Now this diociole also filled with what type of fluid? Cerebrospinal fluid. Now between epithalamus and thalamus, they having a small stalk like structure. This is called as a pineal stalk. The pineal stalk having a body, that body is called as a pineal body. It can secrete a hormone, that hormone is called as a melatonin. Melatonin is not only useful for the pigmentation, it means it is not able to give the color, and also it will be useful for the sleep awake cycle or biological rhythmic cycle. If you get a deep sleep, normal sleep, it is mainly based upon the melatonin, and also it controls the menstruation cycle. Keep in mind. About this one we will discuss in the next chapter, chemical coordination. Okay, now see here, among this one, epithalamus is the non-nervous part. Thalamus is the relay point. Relay point means it can transfer the message from forebrain to midbrain, midbrain to the hindbrain, or hindbrain to the midbrain, midbrain to the forebrain. It is like a mediator, relay point. They having a sensory unit and also they having a motor unit. Sensory unit means it can take the impulse. Motor unit means it can send the impulse. That is the differentiation between the sensory unit and the motor unit. And the third one, very important one in the brain, not only in the brain, total in the body, that is the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is also called the thermostat of the body. It means when your body maintaining a constant body temperature, that constant body temperature is mainly by the hypothalamus one. Now you have to think this one is the hypothalamus. From below the hypothalamus, they having a funnel shaped like structure. That funnel shaped like structure is called as a infundibulum. This infundibulum is connected with the pituitary gland. See here, this hypothalamus also they having a specialized neurosecretory cells. This neurosecretory cells it can produce the what hormones. That's why hypothalamus is called as a neuroendocrinal center. It indicates it can transfer the impulse and also it can produce the hormones. That's why hypothalamus is called as a neuroendocrinal center, and also it is called as a master gland. Now this hypothalamus also controls and integrates the activity of autonomic nervous system. Why it can controls and integrates the autonomic nervous system means, autonomic nervous system can be classified into two parts. One is the sympathetic, another one is the parasympathetic. From the sympathetic and parasympathetic, they can release a neurotransmitters or they can release the hormones epinephrine and non-epinephrine. That everything is under control by the hypothalamus. And also hypothalamus is a osmoregulator, thermoregulator. When your body is in thirst condition, when body is in a hungry condition, when body is in emotions, excitations, sexual behaviors, that is called as a satiety center or satisfy center. It is everything is under the hypothalamus only. Now see the inner part of the cerebral hemisphere, and in deep structure they having a two parts. One is the amygdala and hippocampus. Amygdala and hippocampus combinedly called as a limbic system. The limbic system along with the hypothalamus involves the regulation of sexual behavior and expressions and emotional reaction. That's why sexual behavior, expressions and emotional reactions is mainly with the limbic system and with the hypothalamus. The second part, midbrain. Midbrain is also called as a mesencephalon. Now see here, now this part you have to indicate the midbrain. Midbrain is present below the thalamus or hypothalamus and pons varii. That's why suppose now this region is called as a midbrain. This midbrain is present between the thalamus and hypothalamus and with the pons varii region. Okay, now here, that's why I wrote this midbrain is located between the thalamus and the hypothalamus of the forebrain and also pons varii of hindbrain. In ventral portion of the midbrain, they having a like this longitudinal bands are present. That longitudinal bands is called as a cerebral peduncle or also called as a crura cerebri. And dorsal portion they having a four knob-like structure like this. Four knob-like structures is there. That knob-like structures is called as a corpora quadrigemina. Among the four lobes, two are large and two are small. Large one is called as a superior colliculi. Small one is called as a inferior colliculi. Superior colliculi is mainly used for the visual activity. Inferior colliculi is mainly used for the auditory activity. Now in vertebrates, that is mainly in the mammals, compared to humans, this superior corniculus in inferior corniculus is more developed in the lower mammals. Suppose if you observe the dog at the time of earthquake, it is easily identify that sound because of they having a more inferior canculus and superior canculus compared to the humans.